Greetings, this is Chris here from Woodsman Spirit Channel. I want to start by just saying sorry I haven't been around much recently, but I've had a big project on. At the moment, as you probably know, those of you who follow my channel, know that I've been living in a travel trailer with a wooden extension on, which I humorously call the Love Shack. I've been living in this for over 2 years now, and my ambition was always to live there while I could afford to start building a log house. Well, the good news is we're working on the log house, and stay with me and I'll just give you a brief shot of how things are going there. So here I am up at the log house. As you can see, we've got the shell constructed already, and we have Tyvek membrane on the roof to keep the weather out in case we get into winter. And these are 8-inch square hemlock logs built on a concrete foundation. We have a insulated concrete basement built into the side of the hill, so from here it just looks like it's a like a bungalow, like a one-level house, but there's a 10-foot drop in elevation from here, the back, to the front. So this is what I've been working on. We have contractors doing most of the work, but I've been doing the door installation, all the earth moving and landscaping around here, and of course the tree removal. For those of you who've been around a long time, you'll have seen the work I've done on the trees out here. So yeah, this area behind the house will be primarily an area for perhaps having some raised bed gardens. I'll just try and angle the camera so you can see that better. Yes, over to the left there, I was trying, over that berm there is a natural gully which we've preserved, because this is where we get a huge amount of runoff after the snow melts, usually in late April or May. So in total the blueprint size of the log house will be 1480 square feet. There's probably a couple more trees that in the process of building I've decided may need to come out. Those are the ones just, let me show you, these guys, one or two of these guys which are dead in here, hanging up, so they'll probably have to come out. So yeah, we have very stringent building codes out here, even though we're 10 miles off the highway. You know, there's no exemption. In fact, it's proven that building a log house in these circumstances is way harder than building a stick frame house, basically because the local local building authority don't have much experience with people putting in applications for log structures, and therefore they've imposed upon us some pretty stringent guidelines in terms of how this place has got to be insulated. I mean, I think it's pretty darn crazy, but we live in a crazy world now, full of rules and regs, and the only way I can get this project done is is by paying lip service to the local authority. I mean, despite the fact this is 8-inch square hemlock logs with, as you can see, foam insulation between each log, which in turn will be chinked over with chinking compound. They also expect me to line the external walls with 2-inch of further rigid insulation. But just to give it the log look, I've got some 8-inch hemlock boards which I will face over the insulation with, which will mean that the house looks exactly the same on the inside as the outside, just that you lose probably 3 inches off your off your internal living space. So yeah, I've just been using a couple of chainsaws to cut out the window and door opening. That door may be a temporary door, but it's actually quite a good door, so I may leave it in. And we've had to be very careful down here at the back, because at the moment we have no guttering, and I intend to do rainwater harvesting because we get quite a lot of rainfall here, but we still have a pool of water down here. So I've graded it using my Kubota. I've graded it back this way, and I'm going to put a French drain, or I've started to cut a French drain just down here at the bottom of this 10-foot earth bank I'm standing on. I'll probably line it with some heavy rocks, make sure the grade shoots the water over towards, yeah, you can see where it goes out just over there. Yeah, so I'm quite excited, but it's proven, you know, for anyone who's thinking of doing this, it's, if you live in an area like I do where there's lots of regs, this is costing me 50% more than I ever dreamed it would cost me. So it's been really hard to keep my channel going. I have to work more hours than I would like just to try and stay ahead of the bills, and we're trying to build this by cash as we go along rather than borrowing, because you know, I'm kind of retirement age, so you know, I don't want to incur any huge debts with banks or lending institutions. Anyway, that's just a little bit about what we've been doing in the last, well, since May, since weather cleared up. Things moved pretty quick. We had a terrible wet spring, and unfortunately that made working up here hell. It was just like a total swamp up here, and we had to rebuild a couple of the driveways. We're probably, to the back of this house, we're probably 200 yards from the road to the back of the house, and fairly steep gradient in places, and of course when you get heavy machinery like concrete trucks up here, it soon destroys what was previously a good drive. So yeah, so the other thing is that I want to show you here. Just bear with me. So yeah, the other thing I want to show you is I've had these trees laid down here for about 2 years, so I was really hoping to be well on with booking these trees up that we took out a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, I've had a couple of quite unpleasant injuries, torn trapezius in the back. It's been extremely painful. So I've noticed using bigger chainsaws, you know, even with painkillers, I can't do it. So I've probably got another 2 or 3 weeks yet before I can really start cutting these trees up. I mean, that pile there, it's difficult to tell from here, but it's you know, where the roots are that end, it's probably 10-12 feet tall. So some of those trees are 90 to 100 feet tall. So yeah, if I could get it all cut up, that would be great. After all, I'm the Woodsman spirit, and I'm enjoy doing this kind of stuff, but really at the moment I'm panicking a bit, because I've probably got a couple of cords of wood down there. I've yet got to put a wood stove in this log house we're building, because hopefully we can live in the shell during the winter, because we're getting a little bit weary of living in a travel trailer after, you know, having 4 feet of snow and -30 temperatures. It's we're ready to go into a place where we can actually move around and store stuff. We've had stuff laid in the snow in boxes, and it's got trash. So yeah, that's just something for other people to think about who's going into this kind of crazy venture. So I'll be after I've done this brief introduction to what I've been doing in the last few months, I'll be sending out a little video about some of the axe renos I've been doing, that I've done, and some that I have yet to do, which I hope you'll find quite interesting. And hopefully I have another series of what will be probably shorter videos than I'm known for, simply for the fact I just want to make sure I get some content out before the next phase of this work starts going. But yeah, hang around, and thanks for joining me again, and thanks for your good wishes and questions, and perhaps in some of the videos that's coming up shortly I'll address some of those questions that people have. I mean, one popular question is about the debate on large knives versus smaller knives, so that will be a video hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully people will continue to subscribe and follow Woodsman Spirit. Thank you.